Hello everyone. Let us continue with our Python topic, interface Python with MySQL part 2. Here we are the program that we have written in our previous class was a simple query. Now we will look into a parameterized query. This means sometimes you may have to write a queries uh, uh, which will be based on some parameters or values that you provide from outside. So that is a meaning of parameterized query. So to execute parameterized query in mysql.connector connection, you need to form SQL query strings that include values of parameters. So for example, suppose if you wanted to select a student from your select the details of students from your table student where marks is greater than INP. I will not be able to write directly here. So by using a parameterized query means depending on the condition. My condition is that all the marks I wanted to display all the students who have secured more than 70 marks. So I will be writing this way. So I will show you now in the next slide how you'll be writing this in Python. So I have, as already mentioned earlier, Python program to fetch data with parameterized queries. If we will import again, first our first step is always to import our MySQL connector. Then we will establish the connection object, like in our previous example. So sql.connector.connect, then host, user, password, and database name we will mention. And if at all, if there's a problem, then this message will be printed out, error connecting to SQL, MySQL database. And we know that we have to set the instance of our cursor again. And this is the line for that. Now this particular line here, INP is equal to 90 means we are setting a condition that we want to display all the details of the students whose mark is greater than 90. uh, so like I will be writing this part. Please carefully observe here. Select star from student where marks is greater than. This is the type of formatting that we will be using. Directly we will not be writing greater than INP. So this type of formatting we call it as a old style formatting. We will be writing this $S and then close the quote, and then we will write a condition with $sign again, and INP is my condition, that is 90. So if you write this program following the same uh, after saving in your IDLE, then this will be the output that you'll be seeing. Since we have I'm referring to the same table student which I've already used in the previous class as well. So there will be two students who score more than 90. That is 101 roll number, Rini, and as well as 103 Akam. Both of them secured more than 90 marks. So this is the output which you'll be getting. So let us look into detail about the string template, which I have told you that percentage formatting. The old style that we are using is $V. F is a template string and V specifies a value or value to be formatted using the template. That means to display, for example, to display marks of the students who secure more than 80. This is the Python code that I'll be writing. Select star from student where marks is greater than $S. This is they specify the formatting style that you're using, and dollar again outside. This is the F part which we are writing here, and the V part is the condition which specifies the value to be formatted. So that means I want all the students to display the marks of all the students who receive more than 80 marks. Okay, so the output will be this way, in the program will be this way, same way whatever we've written in the previous program, except that here in this line only we will be writing execute select star from student where mark is greater than this, and $80, then fetch all, and then we will write the next line cursor dot row count as was row in data, and will print and it will close, and the output that you'll be seeing will be this one. So I have in my table I have only 4 datas. Out of that, the students who secure more than 80 marks are these students. Okay, that is 101, 103, and 104. So the only changes that you have to make is in that particular line by using $s and the particular v, the values that you have to specify. Now another way, okay, instead of writing that whole line in select star from student where marks is greater than this, suppose if you wanted to display all the marks of the students whose marks is greater than 80 as well as whose grade is A only, that means I will be storing that in another output st. So instead of writing that cursor dot execute all these line in a long line directly, I can store in st, and if I write execute st, then this value st will be passed here. All right, so the Python program for this will be, see, as I've mentioned here, instead of writing a cursor dot execute select star a long line, instead of that I can write this. So this particular query is to display the students, all the students who have secured more than 80 marks and whose grade are A. Let's see what the output will be. So these the following, so there was another student who have secured 80 and above, but then the condition was that the student should secure more than 80 as well as the grade should be A. So I have only two students here. According to that particular query condition, I have only two students in my output. So another way, let's look into another string template with a percentage formatting, the new style format method. In the new style, we will be using this format. Okay, the string placeholder will be used in this is in a form of a quote. Remember that we have used percentage S in the earlier old style formatting, but in this case we will be using a parenthesis, and if it is a string we have to write inside a quote, and if it is not a string then just a normal parenthesis. So here this, the meaning of this is select star from student where marks is greater than 80 as well as the grade is equal to A. Since A is a string, so I have to put this inside a quote and cursor direct execute as usual. Then this is output that you'll be seeing here. Okay, so format 70, I wanted to see all the students whose marks is greater than 70 and grade is A. Let's see how many students are there who have secured more than 70 and grade is A. Let's look into that. The output will be the same. Since I say that any student who secure more than 70 and the grade should be A, then only these two students are there who have secured more than 70 and whose grade are A. So that will be the output. Now another way is, so far what I've shown you is how to select query, means with the condition we are selecting a particular data from the table. Now it is possible to, even we know that one of the most important, I can say, is to be able to insert data in our MySQL as well. So it's possible to do that by writing this particular Python SQL command inside the Python. But for that, one thing we have to remember that after you execute that particular line, you have to make sure that you use a commit command. That means once you make any changes after you insert that value, have to make sure that it takes place. Commit means whatever changes that you're applying should take place in your SQL. So we know that the SQL command for inserting data into a table is insert into student. So I have in my table, these are the column name that I have, the attribute that is roll number, name, grade, and marks, and value is the command, the keyword for that, insert into student values, and this roll number is going to store a number. Then name is going to store a string, so it has been quoted, parenthesis is quoted, and then again grade is also with a parenthesis with a quote again, because it's going to store string like A, B, or C, and marks is again an integer value, so I don't need to put a string. All right, then so I will close that and I will write dot format. So format is the new way of formatting. Okay, so dot format, then I want the roll number to be to be inserted into my table as the new students is now with roll number 105 and his name is Along and grade is A and has secured 98. Then I'll write cursor dot execute st, then mycon dot commit. Then once I write that in my Python program, then insert into student all these details as I've given right now. Cursor.execute and mycon.commit means as soon as you perform this or insert this data into your table, make sure that you commit it, and again you will close your all your database connection as well again. So after this you should see this output. Earlier in my table I have only 4 datas: 101, 102, 103 and 4. Now with since it's working properly, the one way to check is you should go back to your mysql and then select star from student. Then if it is inserted properly, then you should see this. Now my data has been increased with one value. Now it is 105 along an A grade, and 98 is been and inserted into my SQL table. Now, another important task that we can perform in our SQL is an update query. So we know that update students set marks where with the condition you're supposed to write. Now, suppose I want to update the data that I have in my table. So I wanted to update my table name student, and I want to set the marks is equal to this much, where the roll number is equal to this. So I want to change the students whose roll number is 105 and the marks to 99. So cursor.execute st and mycon.commit. If I write this particular program in my Python, then I should see this if it is working properly. Now when I check my MySQL again, select star from student. See, earlier it was along has secured 98. Maybe there was some mistake. Now after updating my table, now along will be securing 99. That is the changes that I have done. All right. So that is all for today. The different parameterized query we have learned. So thank you so much.